Remember what I said about the ability of spirits to communicate via atmospherics, such as temperature and light. Back in 1998, I approached the meteorological office by letter. I described the circle on the car windscreen and asked them if they'd like to give me an opinion on what might have caused it. A scientific opinion. The experts at the meteorological office suggested that, in their opinion, the circle was probably caused by a cat who had fallen asleep overnight on the windscreen, though really they had no idea. What do you think caused this circle? It certainly wasn't caused by any human form. How could it have happened? How could it remain warm to touch, while all around it, on a perfect clean line of ice, everything was frozen solid? So, where will this story end? Where is it going? Why the circles? What message was I supposed to have received from my friends in the spirit world? I was about to find out. As the third most incredible piece of film shows, a disturbed spirit can muster the most awesome power of destruction. The power to break a strong building into pieces, as if it were made of cardboard, cracking and crumbling the walls as the house was physically shifted on its foundations. Just a week after the circle on the car windscreen, after another night of repetitive door banging and footsteps running across the landing, we woke to find the house had cracked across the inside in every direction. We were alarmed and frightened. The building could have collapsed while we slept. Let's have a look at the last piece of film, shocking in its content. Pay particular attention to the kitchen scene. Notice the cracks through the tiles near the sink, and what I found when I moved the mug tray. And don't forget, when we went to bed the evening before, there was nothing wrong. We woke up in the morning and we were received by what you're just about to see. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna attempt to show the house, the cracks, the house falling down here. Here's a particularly nasty crack in the office. This particular crack starts, well, it's in the ceiling. It's cracked right across, goes right along the coving. You see that there? The complete corner of the room is cracked. Cracked right the way along. Won't go too fast. Right the way along the room. So it's cracked right the way along the top of the office here. There's a corner of that room, you can see the cracks. Further over this side, you can see more cracks appearing. Massive great cracks in the wall. It's completely cracked right the way down. It's hitting the floor, nearly at the floor. Just get it focused in and take the digital zoom off. So those are the cracks in the office. This one here goes right the way down. This is the top of the landing ceiling. It's cracked right the way along to the edge of the room, right the way along here. It's cracked right the way along there, underneath, if you look underneath, and then cracked right the way down onto the supporting beam there, cracked right the way through. cracked right the way up. It's cracked right the way through the ceiling, right to the window, right the way down the window frame, right to the edge, right the way along the window. It's cracked right through the middle of the tiles above the sink, and then it's cracked right the way along the edge. If you can see, it's completely taken away separated the kitchen units from the wall, and cracked right the way in the wall there. If I move those dishes, you'll see that it's completely come away where the house has subsided from the kitchen units. So the house has actually moved and the kitchen units have stayed where they are, and it cracks right the way down through. This is a crack at the top ceiling on top of the landing, very nasty crack. This goes right the way through. That's about, you could get a that's about 2 millimeters wide, and cracked all the way along the ceiling, all the way along to the box, separated the box, then it runs all the way along there, the crack runs all the way along there, and there's a cracked all the way down the wood there. So completely cracked all the way up, all the way down, totally separated. Last but not least, this is where the crack has started. This is the really nasty crack, and it's separating from here. So this is about a good ½ an inch wide, this crack, and if we don't get out tonight, will we get out at all? If we don't get out by tonight, will we get out at all? Chilling words, aren't they? Well, we did get out that day. The house was unsafe for habitation, as it was. We moved to another property close by. We never had a repeat problem of the type of disturbance that we'd had in that particular house. I can sum up the whole episode in just a few words. We were not wanted in that house. In fact, we were in grave danger while we were present in the house. We could so easily have been buried beneath the rubble of a collapsed building while we slept. The first circle on the lounge window was a sign. I believe friends in the spirit world were trying to warn me of the danger. The man with the staring eyes, gazing towards the kitchen, the place where those terrifying cracks were to appear. And why the little dog? I should have guessed. There was a sign on the garden gate at the side of the house. It said, "Beware of the dog. Beware. Beware. Beware." And a young girl in the garden, clutching the bushes, silently shouting, "Be careful. Be careful. Be careful." And how about the sign on the car windscreen? Why there? Well, if you think about it, a frozen windscreen is extremely dangerous, unless you can see through it. Maybe they were saying, "You're in danger. You're in danger. Can't you see?" And so to the cracking walls of the house. Was it subsidence? Surely not. Not in an established little cul-de-sac in a fairly new house, where ground movement of that calibre is unheard of. Well, you'll have your opinions on what you've witnessed. I have communicated with my friends in the spirit world, and I've been given the answers. Let me leave you with one final thoughts. As we were leaving the house for the last time, as I shut the door and left the house empty, I again felt the presence of the elderly couple upstairs in the front bedroom. He was still sat at the window, and she was still in bed, still looking at him. But there was a difference. They were both smiling. Goodbye.